SoundCloud.
Hello, welcome back to Silver Screen with Jamie Bixby and of course Chase Johnson Lynch.
Yes. We're here at the Silver Screen, and now that we moved over into the color studio here at the City of Liverpool College, I thought that what was really interesting is when we came back to Silver Screen and you wanted to do an episode on Highlander. I thought that your critical analysis and breakdown of the things that we didn't really automatically know was brilliant. And in that case is that I know and I'm aware of various articles that you've written. I know your favorite is Master of the Universe, but don't worry, we're not talking about that. You did a great treatise on Spider-Man. And I thought that we would focus on Spider-Man, especially because of Homecoming and everything. We will focus on Spider-Man in this episode of Silver Screen. But also, we're not going to go down like the cinematic history of Spider-Man or the cartoon history of Spider-Man, because various other YouTubers have done that. I think for Silver Screen, what we're here for is your critical analysis. And so what I like to start with is, well, turn it over to you to start talking about, what could have been Spider-Man, the movie.
Yeah, which we didn't get yet. I think a good place to start, Chase, would be with the in the 80s with, first of all, with the Canon Pictures Spider-Man film that never was, but that was in production for a while, which in turn led to the James Cameron would have been produced version, so we can come to that in a second.
So what you're saying is did they Canon get the movie rights after the Nicholas Hammond TV?
Yeah.
All right. So
in fact, they got the rights through the Nicholas Hammond TV series.
Well, go ahead, talk
because
about it.
They distributed the Nicholas Hammond TV series as a series of movies in Europe.
Exactly.
Which actually, strangely enough, made more money in certain parts of Europe than Superman the movie. I presume people thought they were going to see Superman the movie.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Basically, they're jumping on board of how successful a DC property of Superman was and everything, and they said, we got this.
That's it, yeah. See, Stanley's problem, when Stanley first went to Hollywood, he went to Hollywood with a view to selling off Marvel's properties, just because he saw the potential as movie properties, and he sold them all on his first day there, which everyone has since said is ridiculous. He should have been in at least 6 months, just, like interviewing producers and stuff. But Canon came in and said, "We'll give you this and this," and he was like, "Brilliant!" And he just, sold them. What he didn't know was Dino De Laurentiis wanted the rights because he saw how popular Superman the movie had been.
Yeah.
He wanted to front his own franchise and he couldn't get the rights because Canon had them.
So what year are we talking about here, basically?
79.
Yeah. So I mean, that means we're talking about after Jaws, and when Dino do Orca, the killer whale.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So he was into the blockbuster had just come out. Yeah. So he was into looking for the next blockbuster property. Yeah,
and he couldn't get Spider-Man, so he did Flash Gordon, of course. So that's why we got
Sam J. Jones Flash Gordon.
Sam J. Jones Flash Gordon with Timothy Dalton.
Flash. Yes.
Ah.
All right.
So
no
stood on my foot there.
Luckily it was your foot.
Yeah.
So who do you think was when they had it, Canon? You said who were they looking at, directing wise or acting wise for Spider-Man?
Believe it or not, the first person Canon turned to was Toby Hooper.
Really? After Poltergeist?
Yeah, before Poltergeist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an interesting story. After the success of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they really wanted to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And they said to him, what would be your dream project? And he said, well, I'd really like to do Spider-Man. And they were like...
Really?
Because they were kind of like, what is this Spider-Man? They really didn't know what they had. They'd seen it as like The Fly.
Oh, no. Okay.
So in the original script, we'll just zipping through. In the original script, Peter Parker was a photographer out of the science lab. Not the Daily Bugle.
Right.
Who somehow got involved in an experiment that would turn him into a spider.
Did he have this 6 arms?
Yeah, and then at the end he would be a giant spider.
I was kidding, really.
No, that's
I know that's the actual storyline in the comics, but I mean that would be a good way of going. Actually.
Yeah. Well, in there, for some reason, the Green Goblin was the hero who would have to defeat.
Right.
So Stan Lee and more importantly Steve Ditko read the script because Steve Ditko had say on whether he was doing it at that point.
Yeah, he's actually the creator. Right?
Yeah, and he said, "There's just no way you're gonna. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna give you consent to this." So Toby stayed with it for a bit, and they got John Brancarto and Daniel Harris, who wrote Terminator 2 eventually.
Okay.
And they wrote a screenplay that was more traditional.
Yeah.
Again with Tobe Hooper, but later on with Joe Zito, who directed.
Didn't he do Maniac and stuff?
He did Maniac, and he did what was that? He did Friday the 13th Part 4.
Oh, yeah,
Missing in Action.
What's that?
So
Chuck Norris?
natural Spider-Man then, you know. Yeah, and he came in and
well, who do you think who were they looking around as the Peter Parker?
C. Thomas Howell at that point.
All right.
Who was
Soul Man?
Yeah, and he'd done E.T. of course. He'd been in E.T. He was one of.
You
didn't know he was in it, yeah. And then later on he did The Hitcher.
Love The Hitcher, man. Rutger Hauer, excellent movie,
well,
excellent.
At this point,
Jason Lee.
Yeah, well, the plan was that those three were going to be in the Spider-Man movie. So we would have had Jennifer Jason Lee as
Mary Jane or
Gwen Stacy.
Well, yeah, obviously at the time they knew who actually was the real lead of the Spider-Man girlfriends.
That's it, and also they hadn't been married at that point in the comics.
Well, no, that didn't come around until like the 90s, yeah.
And Rutger Hauer would have been Norman Osborn, Green Goblin. C. Thomas Howell would have been.
Wonder if he would have had the mask and everything.
He might not have needed it, might he?
But you know, actually, too, though, if they, being that it was the 70s, you know, they could have also, he didn't have to be the Green Goblin, he could have been the Jackal, which was really more of the villain of the Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, because that was a whole strange, terrible storyline.
I also thought the Jackal as well, looked, and he's getting on it, he looked like the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin looked more like the Jackal.
Well, yeah, with the metal head, yeah, no, exactly, no, you're right, but mainly they were the same characters. Jackal and Green Goblin was interchangeable looking, because they both were like goblin creatures, and you know, it's kind of like when the Spider-Man was fighting all of these like weird animal monstrosities. You know, they were like the demon bad guys was Green Goblin and the Jackal and stuff like that. But the Jackal was in love with Gwen Stacy, and he was a teacher at the school, and all that kind of stuff that was going on. So that would have been naturally interesting. I mean, if we ever would have, probably never would get that storyline, but or you never know. I mean, in the new Spider-Man movie.
Well, it's interesting how it is. It's like I heard Kevin Smith saying this, that at the time in the 80s and 90s, if superhero movie projects sort of hit a brick wall, people would say, why don't you bring so-and-so in, he wrote for the comics. And the view of Hollywood was like, well, if they wrote comics, what do they know about films?
Exactly.
Now, of course.
They're only visualists because they're actually writing word balloons for panels of visuals and everything. Because usually the way a comic book is that the artist will do the panels first, and then the writers will come in and have to fit the word balloons and a certain length and stuff. And
of course, now we have a whole cinematic universe that everybody would influenced by the comics and know what is right for the characters. So it might be different to what filmmakers at the time would be used to, but it was right for what the audiences were reading and things. Yeah,
no, exactly. So all right, so move on. So did the project leave canon before it got to our next guy?
It stalled. It was canon. They just couldn't get it going because they kept using it as leverage in projects and stuff like that. They'd say, if you come and do this, we will let you direct this. Or they'd use it as
one for me, one for you kind of thing.
Yeah, that kind of, and they kept using it as capital, never realising what they had until it was too late. At one point the project had just been dead, and James Cameron was now working at Carolco. He'd just done Terminated the Aliens in Abyss, and he was preparing. Funny enough, he was preparing the Chaplin biopic and Terminator 2.
Wow.
In the end, he only ended up directing Terminator 2. And he was signed by Marvel to do X-Men the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
At that
point, yeah.
Well, that's 20 years early,
It's 1988 to 89 he signed.
All right.
And believe it or not, this I told people listening to get annoyed. He wanted Bob Hoskins to play Wolverine.
I remember that. I remember that story vividly with the idea of the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit to be Wolverine, and you're like, he's more of a puck, really. You know what I mean?
That kind of, it was a strange one, but then get your head around it. You know what I mean? It was
because of his acerbic nature. You know, because Wolverine was kind of like this gruff kind of guy, you know, and, outsider. So, I'm pretty sure Bob Costas could have made it work. Thankfully, we didn't have to sit through it, though. You know what I mean? The process of him trying to make that work. I'm glad we got the Wolverine that we got. Even though originally it was going to be Doug Ray Scott.
That's it. I know that's another one of the cinematic wonders. But what happened was that X-Men movie stalled. They said, you're not going to be able to do this for another 12 months.
Why?
Because there was rights issues with Marvel and whatnot, and the cartoon had just been commissioned. And Fox were like, you've got to give us like 6 months to develop this before.
So that's probably X-Men Evolution cartoon.
Yeah, something.
When they went back to high school and Mystique was the teacher and all of this other kind of craziness.
In the meantime, they said, well, what else have we got? And someone said to James Cameron, well, why don't you ever go with Spider-Man? And he'd never, the penny dropped for him. He was like,
no.
Of course, yeah, because this was the whole reason why he became the director. He became an artist because of the Spider-Man comics. He was a huge Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
He just never thought about it. As a professional, since he became a professional, he never thought about directing it. So this became his be-all and end-all.
Now, wasn't this like, was this before or after Titanic? Because
this was before Titanic, yeah.
Because the rumor was that he earmarked Leonardo DiCaprio to be Spider-Man. So it's before Titanic, really.
It's before that. It's before. This was like 1990. I mean, one of the reasons he went back and did Terminator 2 for Carol Code was as leverage to do Spider-Man. He said, okay, I'll come and do this, because he really wasn't interested in doing the sequel.
Really?
Yeah.
And now he is.
Well, there you go. Yeah, he's back on the.
Yeah.
But he said, I'll come and do this, and Carol Code will find it, because they were like, we've got the biggest director in the world to do Spider-Man, and Marvel were happy with it.
Yeah.
But again.
Well, I remember the one sheets. I think you had, when you did this article, you had the one sheets. So, I mean, they were really far into the process of pre-production before it got cancelled.
Now, here's the thing, if you've been following what I said, the project at Canon was dead. It wasn't finished. So Canon still had the rights. And then they went ahead with production and stuff. Now, this is typical Hollywood. Wood flinging. Me and him go and said, I'm fine for James Cameron as director, but I want my name to be on it as producer. And Cameron said, over my dead body, I'm not having the producers of Delta Force or Mission in Action associated with one of my productions. You know, like the
Golden Globus.
Exactly, yeah, he was like, there's no way, and so Canon blocked it. And then Carol Code had the massive flop of Cutthroat Island.
Yeah.
They had no money to produce it. So Cameron said, okay, I'll go and do Titanic. Titanic took off. And in the end, he just wasn't interested to go back to it because he couldn't make the film he wanted to do. But Leonardo DiCaprio was signed to do Spider-Man before he signed him to do Titanic.
Right.
So that was that. But I mean,
that would have been really interesting. What was he doing at that time? Was he doing Gilbert Grape or?
He'd just done Gilbert Grape. Yeah, he was just coming out of this kind of,
he was on Growing Pains, so he was a TV kid.
Yeah. He was like he was on the cover of Tiger Beat and stuff like that. But now people starting to take him serious as an actor as well. He wasn't just a pretty face; he could do things. They seen this boy's life and they thought sensational.
And Gilbert Grape.
Gilbert Grape and
Basketball Diaries.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else he was in. Titanic.
Those three were the main ones.
But those are the and
around as a movie star.
Exactly. Yeah, and the story would have been that you probably know. I mean, Cameron had two approaches to it. One was going to be that we were going to pick up Spider-Man 10 years into his career.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was his first approach. And it would have dealt with
why was he going to go that route? Because of the factor is that you got to remember there was no Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So this would have been the first Spider-Man movie. So you saying he would have just jumped into him already having a career?
The reason for that is it's interesting. It's the idea of the rights issue again. If they use, this is one of the reasons
he couldn't do the origin story.
It's actually down to the costumes, because they're so trademarked.
Yes.
If you were gonna use the red and blue costume, you couldn't use the black costume. If you're gonna use the black costume, you couldn't use the red and blue costume.
Probably couldn't use the web shooters.
Yeah, that's why Sam Raimi had to change it in Spider-Man 3 to just a black version of the red and blue costume.
But he still had the red and blue though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's still the red and blue design, it's just in black. They couldn't use the black with the white spider insignia.
Oh yeah, I see. You changed the black suit. Okay.
So I think Cameron at that point said, well, okay, I'd like to tell the story of the alien costume. The best way to do it is to do it like sort of Spider-Man advanced in his career. Michael Biehn was actually going to play an older Spider-Man in it with the alien costume and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this is all strange.
It's very strange. I think at the end, someone said to him, if you do that, you're only going to have to come back and tell the origin story. At which point Michael Biehn would be too old to do that because
Mm-hmm.
So he started to look again at just doing the origin story. That's where Leonardo DiCaprio was involved. Edward Furlong was a name that was mentioned because he'd made Terminator 2. Chris O'Donnell as well.
Well, Edward Furlong probably would have been like a Harry Osborn type.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, you know, with the whole droopy hair and bad attitude and stuff like
emo
that.
type thing, yeah. Like
emo type, yeah. I mean, it does sound really interesting, you know, like these offshoots, because, I mean, I actually want to probably, like, in another program, you know, I actually want to probably go into, you know, some of those, like, what would have been movies, you know, like, if this cast that was going to it, you know how you always find out, like, oh, if this person was supposed to be that person, that kind of thing, and what it would have turned out to be. So, but either way is that, so after that fiasco, obviously it ended up in the hands of Sam Raimi, and then, you know, history is born, isn't it?
Well, I'll just tell you what happened there, is that Columbia Pictures bought the rights to it.
Yeah, Sony Columbia.
And MGM thought they had the rights because they now own Canon.
Yeah.
So MGM said, well, go ahead and do your own version of Spider-Man, we'll make our own version of Spider-Man. So Columbia said, okay then, fair enough, you make your own version of Spider-Man, we'll do our own version of James Bond. And MGM suddenly went, hang on a second. So they shook hands, right, you can have Spider-Man, we'll have James Bond.
Yeah.
And that's how they got that, so we got the Sam Raimi.
Oh wow!
Which, to be honest with you, I loved at the time, even being perfect. 10 years, I really loved Spider-Man 1 and 2 when they first came out.
I mean, they're excellent. You know, they would definitely be in anyone's top 5 list of superhero films of all time. I mean, pretty much because, you know, like, you know, Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, actually changed the direction of superhero films in general. Because, I mean, you know, and that's a whole nother silver screen where the 70s, 80s, 90s superheroes, you know what I mean? Because we had the TV versions and the movie versions, because also they did the same thing with Jared Man and Incredible Hulk, where they made his TV pilot into movies over here and stuff like that. So, but I mean, it wasn't like they didn't have maybe some people think it was the technology that we lacked. But because Superman can fly, you know, that was the whole thing was, well, you could do anything. But they just didn't have the imagination. It's probably like you just said initially about they didn't believe enough in bringing in the actual comic creators to be involved in the pre-production and breakdowns of the stories. So they had these kind of like attempt of guys who had no clues what kids playing with toys on the bedroom floor is all about. That I'm gonna make David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, what? So, no, definitely. I'm glad it's in the proper hands now.
Yeah.
But definitely, and don't get me wrong, before I go, don't get me wrong, Blade, yes, is indeed, you know, integral to the Marvel Universe, integral to comic book movies being taken seriously by going down a horror direction and doing a more serious bent on it. And then we also have Bryan Singer's X-Men, you know, in the 2000s. But what I'm just trying to say, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, give me a proper year for it.
2002.
So Sam Raimi's Spider-Man came out after Blade, definitely, and it came out after X-Men?
Yeah, 2 years after X-Men. But it started filming before, it started production before the X-Men. It took that much longer to get to the screen.
You know how Chase knows nothing about time, but I mean, you know, I'm not Doctor Who here, but I mean, either way is, to me, still, that's a horror version of Blade, and Wesley Snipes, who was hot and great, and that's the, you know, single version of the X-Men and the Mutants. But Spider-Man singly, one superhero singly killed it, for me. As far as all the other superheroes before Iron Man came along and again killed it again, right? Meaning killed it, meaning made it good.
I remember with Spider-Man, Chase, that I was watching this program that used to be on ITV where they discussed movies that were coming out, and people were discussing the Spider-Man film, and they were saying it's this year's Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. They were saying it'll open big and then it'll peter away, and I just thought, just you wait, because I knew I speak to people who didn't like comics, who were saying they were looking forward to the film. The underground, there was something happening. Also, you got to remember the first Spider-Man film was it opened 7 months after 9/11.
I remember the posters and they had to paint down the towers and everything else like that.
It was the first don't we have the first film to acknowledge 9/11? Where they say you pick on one of us in New York, you pick on all of us. Which
yeah, well,
stand up and clap.
that that BS New York attitude. All right, so no, it's all good. So anyway, before we go, we just want to just kind of like acknowledge the inspiration for this is also Spider-Man's Homecoming and everything, the new movie and stuff like that. So, any thoughts, any feelings about the new movie?
I loved it. I really.
Yeah.
I mean, I went in expecting to like it and to enjoy it, but I didn't think I was gonna. I mean, I really felt for the first time that I really knew this Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I loved it because I'd seen Civil War.
He's useful. He's acrobatic. I mean, I didn't even mind him having to always try and take the mask off and everything else like that. But what was great about it is that you can actually see him springing around and doing all those things as Peter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was to me it was fantastic. The whole tribute to Ferris Bueller scene. Where Spider-Man tried to get out of Queens and there are no buildings for him to actually swing on.
Well, even I can't mention the end credit sequence, but there's a nice little nod to Ferris Bueller.
No, you can, man. I mean, the movie's been out now.
Well, the nod to Ferris Bueller of the end credit scene.
No.
He's still here, but it was Captain America.
Oh!
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, okay, yes, that's right. He did his own version of that. Yeah. But I mean, like, think about it though. To be honest with you, I mean, it's a long movie, and people told me, stay for the credits, and to me, it wasn't worth it because you had to stay to the very end for that. When you gotta go to the, and then it was kind of like, what? This is what we get? You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, is that we had to wait for that moment, and I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy the moment when I watch it. On the thing, but waiting, it wasn't that first Bueller moment was worth it. I liked the first Bueller moment during the film. That was great. What I also wanted to say about the film, though, is these. I want to say about these two girls, because like what happened is that, I don't know if I can say I'm all for this whole race casting, gender bending and stuff like that, right? So I won't say that I had a problem with them being black and all, but what I'm trying to say is that they totally faked us out completely with the names, because like when they said that's Liz, right? Then we all know who are fans. Liz Allen, Liz Allen's gonna be black. This is great. You know what I mean?
I told you this. And I so fucking mentioned this to you, and you were like, "Oh, I didn't even notice that."
That's
no, I'm doing it on air. Shut up. As you can tell, James
I am not letting you get away with that.
What am I getting away with?
It was me that brought it to the attention about
I know,
Mary Jane
but somebody else was talking about it online, and I'm just pissed off. I'm just taking my moment to freaking rant.
Fellas.
So anyway, so they only just told us Liz. They actually didn't say that's Liz Allen. They just said that's Liz. But we as fans say that's Liz Allen. So race blending. Fine. So we were totally thrown off the deep end when he walks up to the house to Adrian Toombs' house, and it's his daughter. Now, her mother is black, right, and he's white and everything like that. So you're thinking, well, maybe even though he's saying this is his daughter, maybe the mom's name is Allen, right? And we can accept that, right? Because Liz Allen in the comics, her brother was a multi-man. You know this, right? So, like, my point is the fact that it was a total fake out, and it was a fantastic, brilliant scene. The director gets a pass in the car. Totally gripping. Yeah. I'm just like, And then, in the end, with Zendaya saying, my friends call me MJ. And so we're like, great, she's Mary Jane. Everybody's all up in arms. This is all great. Millions of pounds going into the bin. And then Kevin Feige goes, nope, she's Michelle. I don't know why you think, there's other Michelle James or Michelle Joanne or whatever. She's Michelle. She's not MJ. So it's kind of like, what is all of it? To me, it's just horrible. All the money, that's why I think Homecoming has a negative stain to it. So that's the last thing I'm trying to say. It's broken its... It didn't break the billion mark, but it's broken the 400 million mark, right, James?
Huh?
It's broken the 400 million mark.
No, 300 million was the last mark.
Yeah.
In America?
No, worldwide, including worldwide.
Including China.
No, that is.
No, it's not including China. I don't think anything's including China.
So it's not including China. Yeah.
That's quite a.
So it will hit. I mean, you know, but either
That's
way.
quite a flop.
Well, I mean,
No, it's not. See,
No.
see, this is my point.
No, considering the
Hold
last one.
on. The Marvel movies have created this incredible ceiling where movies have to hit like 300 million and all of this other kind of stuff, where every other movie barely makes it to 100 million. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's not a flop.
I'm sorry, I'm totally wrong. 678 million.
Now it must be
James
over.
is totally wrong. 678 million.
I'll tell you why.
But it's not a, but it feels like a flop. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That was my point. Is that the negative stain put onto these two female characters who just happen to be a product of race mixing has kind of like put a negative stain into the film itself, which is why people aren't talking about the film like they're talking about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, gorgeous, great, deserves all the praise. But Homecoming was, like you just said, a fantastic movie. But because of the stupid crap about these freaking names, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if it would have, why it's important for this film to do well is because it's the first.
It did well though.
Yeah, but I'm saying why that's an important thing, because at first I thought it didn't do well because you said it was 300 million.
Yeah.
It's the first sole Marvel produced Spider-Man film, so if the other
It
one.
wasn't solo. They didn't do it on their own though.
No, but I'm saying, it's the first Marvel.
It's the first one that links them into the cinematic universe.
Yeah, it's the first Marvel enhanced Spider-Man movie. So, and the others that Sony made like close to $1 billion each. So, if this one would have made money, it would have been considered. Oh well, Marvel don't know how to run their own character, even though we know.
Why did we hook up with you, Marvel? We've already made $1 billion with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
We told you.
We don't need you.
Yeah,
what did you do?
I'm getting Tobey Maguire back.
But know what you did, Kevin Feige? You made us all look like idiots when MJ is supposed to be Michelle. That's what you did, Kevin Feige. I love you like a play cousin. But I'm just trying to say is that
here we go. Like some interesting stats on like US domestic box office
This is the
things
voice
for
of
them.
James Brooksbanks.
yeah, get over here, man.
Yes.
This show is way past over. Good thing we repressed the button.
The thing is, you say 5. I got here at 5 to 5.
No. We're doing essential. This is silver screen.
Oh right, okay, so.
No, you're going to give us those stats. That's why you have to come on camera.
In this
Alright, sound. So we
Jump over
have
here, he's not in the camera.
the lowest Marvel produced box office, domestic box office, was actually Captain America: First Avenger, which is only 176 million. No, it was a good film. I enjoyed it. So like, take what you want. Then next one up is Ant-Man at 180, then Thor at 181. So even on
Which
that,
store?
the first one.
Ooh, I love
So and Big Hero 6, which is one of my particular favourites, 222 million.
Sadly, the Hulk films are probably the lowest out of the big names superheroes. 130 million or something like that.
Hulk was 132 million.
Which one
though? That was the second Hulk.
Yeah, Ed Norton, of course. That's why
the first one was. The first one was expected to make billions.
Yeah, well, it did.
It petered to.
Let's not talk about it.
The first one's not even on here, but the last one on here is Man Thing.
What?
Yeah.
And that's only because of Adrian Barbeau's really small dress.
Yeah,
that's
it's just got
Swamp Thing you're thinking of.
It's just got NA for that.
You're thinking of Swamp Thing, James. Man Thing is Marvel's Man Thing. Have you not seen this?
Oh no, wait.
Adrian Barbeau is not in them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the one that was just made for TV or something?
Yeah, it was made for the Sci-Fi Channel, yeah.
The Sci-Fi. I never even seen that.
I will lend you.
Who's in it?
No one.
No one.
Shannon Tweed is in it.
Okay,
Shannon Tweed.
No.
Worldwide, Hulk, the second one, 245 million. The first one was 263.
See, so you never even mentioned the Avengers, of course, there.
Avengers is.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say.
1.5
billion, right?
Yeah, 1.5
This
billion.
is what I'm trying to say, is they totally like raised the ceiling or raised the roof, and now everybody is expected to hit these billion markers, and it's just too much. It's just too much to expect.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems to be doing well though. The Spider-Man Homecoming. I just thought when it was doing.
I love it. I just did the that's all I was just trying to say. I was putting my 2 cents in it. Did you want to say something about what I just said about them girls?
No, I was just sort of like saying anyone who thought that was MJ at the end of it is just an idiot. Just kind of like.
Well, she said her name.
Yeah, but anyone who thought, whoever thought they were it was Mary Jane.
She said it. my friends call me MJ.
Yeah. But the fact
And it's supposed to be like Aunt May going, what the fuck? That's what it was supposed to be.
No,
it was
purely the same thing for the Liz Allen thing, which was kind of.
Well, they said Liz, and we all said Liz Allen.
Everyone, even me, thought it was Liz Allen. But after that shocking bit. And she said MJ is like, that's just got to be it. There's no free. That MJ could mean anything. It's sort of like,
where I come from.
She could even be a stoner.
Whoa.
No.
Do you read the Ultimate Comics?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember Miles Morales' thing? Is that there was a girl named Michelle Gomez who becomes, I think, Jackpot or something like that. So one of the rumors was that she was going to be Michelle Gomez and everything else like that. So what could be the intention is for
Gomez
the second film.
with a J. Gomez.
Could be that she could become a superhero actually in the second film, and it will be somewhat of a redemption. I just think it was so played out in the press. It was horribly a big misnomer, a big mistake on Marvel's part. That's all I'm saying. Why people don't talk about Homecoming as lovingly as they should, because it is a fantastic movie. Period. So anyway, that concludes this Silver Screen where we were talking about what Spider-Man could have been. Thank you very much, Jamie, for that
anytime.
and everything.
I think we should do something about the Tim Burton Superman. Superman Lives, because there's lots of iterations.
But John Schnapp already did that.
But there's lots of
I love you, Schnapp.
But there's lots of things that he didn't. He only focused on the Tim Burton one. There's lots of others that could be spoken about, such as the David Fincher one.
David Fincher was going to do something?
Oh, yes.
I would have been brilliant. Tell me what's in the box. It's kryptonite. What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
That would have been. Bye, folks.
Anyway. What's in the box? All right. Color.